Hello farmers, welcome back to Griffin, Indiana. So, last episode or the episode before that, I kind of explained and went through that the map had an update. And the one thing I did not see in the map update is it requires a new save. So, I've been busy between episodes, redoing everything that we have done up to this point. You're going to notice some things that are different, but mostly everything's the same. But the main thing you kind of see is, yeah, there's no shed here. There's no shed here because all that workshop, yeah, you can get rid of that. So I started from scratch and none of that was here. The garage is still here. That's back to where it was. The house is pretty much back to where it was. A little bit of landscaping around here. So where's the shed and everything? Well, we're going to get to that just in a second. The cow barn is still over here, but now it is closer to the road. So, yeah, if you were trying to play when the map first came out, placing things around here were kind of sketchy. That was the main fix that they had to the map. So that's why when it comes to ground texturing and all that, that's when it requires a new save. But our bunker is still, well, I don't want to say still here, but yeah, with the cow barn moved back closer to the road over here, I moved the silo bunker over here, which now gives us more area of the grass field over here as well. Someone did ask, because they saw this before, they said, you don't have water here, apparently. I do have a mod that when it rains, the rain will fill low-lying areas with water. So, yeah, that's why I got like a little bit of water there. You can kind of see some water over the field over there. Our field is, it's been soil sampled. It's been spread with lime. It's been replanted with oats. And, yep, it's been a day since we planted. Just like I said, I kind of got right back to where we left off, really. Last episode was day 3 of spring. It is now the morning of day 4. So it's been about a day since that has been planted. We got some weeds growing in there. But the main change kind of is like down here. I won't say the main change, but the bigger change of it all has to come down here. I removed where the silo was, and now my shed is down here, and we got a different workstation down here as well. I did smooth out some landscaping that was around here as well. But if we come over here, this is Alien Jim's workshop from No Man's Land. I appreciate that he went ahead and made the No Man's Land placeables a package so we can use them anywhere. If you're unfamiliar with this, no, you don't have to bring your vehicle into here to repair it. The repair trigger is actually right out here. But if you open the doors, a light automatically comes on. So that is our workshop. This is the same shed. I was going to change sheds, but then again, if I did that, I would have felt, I don't want to say guilty, but felt like this shed cost like $9,000. I was looking at a 4-door shed, and that would have cost like $30,000, so I would have had taken the money out. We got the same equipment, although the paint schemes may be just a little bit different. I don't remember exactly what paint schemes I had, if any, but there's our plow. Our fertilizer spreader, which is dirty because I've been doing some jobs. There's our Dutes Fire Series 9. And, of course, we got our Bucks All-in-One tree bush hogger, if you want to call it that. It's the same silo, but just different over here. But what I did here, when I was placing down the silo and I made a loop for our truck to go around, I had this little area right here, which was just grass. I'm like, what do I do with that now? What do I want to do with that? And I just came up and like, a small little pond will look nice there. So we got a little pond going there. And who knows, if I decide to put like greenhouses around here or something, I need some water. Hello, I got some water to steal from. Our seed hut and fertilizer hut are where we kind of placed them before. And of course, our pressure washer is right there, since all of our equipment is going to be pretty much parked down here. So that's the way it kind of looks like now. As for money-wise, after the end of the last episode, I did a few contracts. So I think we were down to like $60,000. I did some fertilizing contracts, and I had to complete them because obviously I'm not on that save anymore. I had to restart. So I completed those contracts, which got us up to $102,000. And that's where we are, except for I did more contracts. Oh, yes, more fertilizing contracts. Let's go ahead and collect those. So there's one for 4,200, 5,100, 4,000, and then 9,200. Oh, I got more new fertilizing contracts. Don't mind if I do accept all the fertilizing contracts I can get my hands on, because that's where my money is right now. I also found it kind of interesting. Oh, I'm up to 125,000. But I will show you, yeah, the money's going to look a little weird because, like I said, I had to set up the map and everything. Our $3 million loan is still there, and that's what we have for money right there. I find it kind of interesting being that with seasons on Griffin, Indiana, cotton is not really a thing. But I guess because of the base game, when you load it in, some farmers already I got like 3 fields where they planted cotton. That's not going to last. I mean, the ground temperature needs to be 64 for cotton, and right now it's only 50. So that's where we kind of stand, sip. But now my grass field over here looks more usable. The cow pasture is not as far down as it once was. It's closer to the road. But I do like the location of it. Now it's closer, and I do like where the bunker is. So now we got a bigger grass field, which pretty soon the grass, let's get back down from flying here. The grass is growing, as we can see. Maybe in a couple days it'll be ready to be mowed, so I got to be prepared for that. So like I said before, the first time we mow this field, we're just going to pick it up and put it into our bunker, wrap it up, not wrap it up, but cover it, and that's going to make silage. When the fall comes, or end of summer, we're going to cut the grass again and make hay out of it. So I'll have hay, I'll have silage, and when it comes time, you know, I don't know how much straw we're going to get after our oat field over there. Hopefully we get enough, but we'll be able to make some TMR, some total mixed rations. I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford to put the automated feeder in here by the time the fall comes, so I may have to buy, or we may lease the feeder, I don't know, the mixer, because I would like to have at least 20 cows by the end of fall. That's kind of my goal. I know we're trying to run 20,000, yeah, 20,000. Yeah, I'm not running 20,000 cattle, 2,000 cattle here. We got to get the process started as soon as we can, because, you know, they're going to be our money makers in a way, because we're going to sell milk, which is going to be a while. And I think someone told me, and I'm trying to remember the comment now, when the cattle get up to like 1,000, 1,200 pounds, or was it 12,000? Not 12,000. Wow, that's a big cow. 1,200 to 1,400 pounds, that's when you sell your cattle in seasons. So I'll have to keep our eye on that. So I don't know how fast they get up there. If that's the case, if I got to sell it, if they get to that weight rather quickly, it's going to be hard to get 2,000 cattle in here, so we may have to change the challenge as it goes along. But the main challenge is have 2,000 cattle on this farm and be able to feed them and maintain everything. So what do we have in store today? Well, right now, the only field I got is that one over there. That field does require some fertilizer. Oh, and also, since I'm going over the map update, as I loaded the game in today, logged in the farming simulator, I was like, oh, there's a map update to Griffin, Indiana. I said, please don't require new save games. I just got it this far. There are a lot of updates, and the old save is fine, only if he did some ground textures in the forest. So if you want to see the new ground textures in the forest, you're going to need to start a new save again. I mean, updates are great, but it's always a kick in the crotch when you always see old save is not compatible with the new update. So I'm not that concerned at this moment about updating the map all over again for myself, because it took me a while to do that. So it's just the ground textures in the forest area that he changed. As for requiring a new save on the map, there were a lot of updates in the new update, which is 1.1. Something like that. But the latest update, it's a lot of texture updates and all that kind of stuff. So you don't really need a new save for that. But if you want the ground textures in the forest, that's going to require a new save. Alright, so what I need to do here is, well, we got to come over here and we got to take care of our field first. Our field first. The option I need to turn on, because I turn it off when I fertilize other people's fields, but I need to turn on activate automatic application rate. That's what I need to do here. It's not going to take us long to fertilize this field at all. And I don't know how much fertilizer it's actually going to take. But I don't think our pH levels are that far off. Now I am getting some weeds in the field. I mean, that's going to happen. How concerned am I about the weeds in the field? Well, right now they're at stage 1. I could... Yeah, the money is the issue. I don't want to borrow more than $3 million, which we're at. I would like to be able to pay off some of that loan, because I'm paying $20,000 a day in interest fees, which is an owie. only because I really don't have no income. Literally, I had no income other than doing contracts. So as long as I keep doing contracts for $20,000 a day, that's fine because we'll break even. But actually, I need to do a little bit more than that because I'm paying for this fertilizer. But you know where I'm getting at there. So I would like to earn a little bit of cash to help dig into that loan payment a little bit. But the hard part is I am going to need to do the grass field. We're going to have to mow the grass with something. And we're going to have to pick it up with something and put it into the bunker. So obviously a loading wagon. And I could either lease or buy mowing equipment. I don't know where I'm going to go with it yet. We got a couple more days. I guess all depends on the fertilizing contracts. Right now it says fertilizing contracts. Another tip I got, which I never thought about doing, but so say you want to take on a contract and you have multiple missions on, kind of like I do as a mod. So multiple missions allow you to take more than one mission at a time. The base game, unless they've changed it on the base game, they only allow you to take one mission at a time. But if you got the mod where it allows you to take multiple missions, if you take, say, like all cultivating jobs, what you can do is, what I would do, is find whatever job is the biggest, and you don't, say you don't have a cultivator. Lease the equipment for that one job. Don't complete that job, but use that equipment for all of the job contracts that you've taken where you're not leasing equipment. And if I kind of confuse you there, I'll show you in a second after I get on fertilizing. I never thought about doing that, but it's a handy dandy little tip. So there are some sowing contracts. Do I want to do sowing contracts? Yes, I'm not really fond of doing sowing contracts because when I was doing them on the Pacific Northwest on that challenge, it looked like you're getting paid a lot, but after I was paying for seed, I wasn't really making out that much at all. So I don't know if I want to do sowing contracts. Cultivating jobs, I could do with a plow. We got the subsoiler. I could go ahead and use that. But I mean, if a lot of them come up, but I think now that we're in day number 4 of spring, we're playing with 6 days seasons. Yeah, most of the cultivating jobs are probably gone by now. But yeah, if there were a lot of good jobs right now, I'd probably take them. Right now, I'm just looking at fertilizing contracts because we got the equipment already. Now, it does cost a lot to fill this thing up with fertilizer, as we saw last episode. Was it last episode? Yeah, last episode. I think it was like $25,000 to fill this thing up with fertilizer. But I made my money back on that and then some by fertilizing. That's for darn sure. Fertilizing contracts in FS19 seem to be the way to go. I will advise you, though, if you're playing with precision farming, before you do contracts in other farmers' fields, make sure you get on the HUD display. As you see, it is where you can see where it says deactivate automatic application rate. You might want to turn that off when you're fertilizing someone else's field, because if that field requires a lot of fertilizer to get it to where it needs to be, you're going to burn through more fertilizer than you probably want. So just deactivate that with another farmer's field and you're fine, because you fertilize the field. It didn't say fertilize it to the rate that it needs to be at. So as for this farm here, I think we're doing pretty good. Like I said, we're on day 4 of spring, 6-day seasons. So like I said, our next job on the farm here, after I get done fertilizing, is going to be to cut that grass over there and pick it on up and put it into our bunkers for silage. And then, of course, like I said, late summer, if it grows back that quickly, which I think it shall, cut the grass again and make some hay. So what am I building up the money for? Well, the one thing I definitely want to build the money up for is a baler. Definitely got to buy a baler, because when it comes time for the hay, yeah, we're going to make the hay, and of course I'm going to bale it up and put it into a shed. I'm not going to take the loose hay and stick it into a silo. We're going to try to keep it a little bit more somewhat realistic in that fashion, instead of just dumping it into a silo. So we're going to probably have a lot of hay bales. Same thing when we go to harvest our oat field. I'm going to have straw bales to make. Alright, so we should be kind of good here. Over here as well. Yep, everything's looking green, green, green. And if we go to here and then go to here, Wait, where are we? We're up here. It's looking pretty good. And the nitrogen value is looking pretty good. So yeah, definitely fertilizing after you plant is what you need to do. Because the nitrogen was showing, I think I needed 80 kilograms per hectare. And then after I seeded it, as you can see, it requires 100. So yeah, a lot of people were telling me don't fertilize it until after you plant, because if you fertilize it before you plant, it's fine, but you got to go ahead and fertilize it again, because the soil sampling is going to tell you, well, for that crop you need so much nitrogen, so on and so forth. It doesn't seem like the pH value matters for the different kind of crop types. Let's go ahead and turn that HUD off, because I like a clean screen when I'm recording. So I'm going to have a lot of fertilizer jobs to do off camera here. And actually, let's go ahead and just drive on down here. So a little bit more landscaping I want to do around here, but I was trying to keep it pretty much the way it was at the end of last episode. But I'm like, you know what? I wanted to move some of this stuff around. Where the silo was didn't bother me, but now I can put the shed down here. I can kind of move some things around a little bit more. And I'm liking the placement a little bit better the way it's laying out. I don't want the flashlight. I want to grab that. Thank you. Got to keep our Dukes Fire nice and clean, because it's the only tractor we got. I do have I know someone mentioned you want an older tractor. Then I picked one out, and I think that person did comment back, because I was mentioning what kind of tractors I was looking at. They wanted to use like a Ford tractor. So we'll have to see how it goes. I found a tractor on the Mod Hub, an older tractor from the 80s I would want to use. But I'm a ways off before I can afford another tractor. Equipment is top of the line here of getting what we need. Let's go ahead and park the lime spreader away just for now. Oh yeah, I was going to show you on the contracts what I'm talking about. And it was a good tip. So like if I come in here and say sowing, well, I don't have a seeder, right? So either I can go lease, I can either accept a contract, which means I'm not boring the items that are shown here. And if I accept a contract, that means I got to use my equipment. So I don't have a seeder. So if I want to do some sewing jobs, I can look at, well, it's actually the same equipment for both jobs. So what I can do here, like this contract here, I would say borrow items. I would accept that contract. So that means this stuff would be at the store for me to use. This contract here, I wouldn't borrow items. I would just accept contracts. I'm going to use these to complete these. But what you have to be careful of is the contract that you borrow the items on. When it gets done to completion, do not complete the contract, because then the equipment just automatically disappears. So hang on to it. So as you can see, I got multiple missions on, or contracts on, so I can accept more than one contract at a time. But man, I just want to see sowing field number 2 with barley. How big is field number 2? I mean, we see field number 1. Where's field number 2? Down here. So that field's going to be like about that size right there. Actually, if I go to precision farming, can I see that better? Nope. There. Now we can see it better. So that field right there, that's field number 2. And if you want to know how big that field is, field number 1 is, of course, is ours. There, that way you can see it better. So that is almost, I would say, about the same size as our field there. So they're going to pay me $7,000 to seed a field that's the same size as we just did. But I'm going to have to buy the seed. I'm definitely going to have to buy the seed if I want to do that. So I don't want to do that. I did see a cultivating job. That is field 19 for $9,000. How big is... That's a big field. That would take me forever. Oh, that might be the one I actually did. So, yeah, no, I did field number 9, I think. I did field number 9. So, yeah, I think I did field number 9 as a contract before. It could have been 19, I don't know. But that was on the other save, so being a new save, it would need to be done again. But I don't plan on doing that. So that's where we kind of stand here. Yeah, so I had to do the save all over again, start the map fresh over. That's why everything's moving around. But I am liking the placement here. In the future, when we start getting a little bit more cash, I do have a floodlight mod. No, that's not the button I want to hit. I want to go in here. So if I go in here, I might be able to put down some lights. Is that decoration or miscellaneous? I don't know. No, it's got to be under miscellaneous. So we got some floodlights we can put down. Actually, not that expensive. So I really haven't been looking around here at nighttime to see exactly how bright it is. But how much work I'm going to do at nighttime, I don't know. There's lights on this shed here. I think the cow barn's got some lights on. Actually, there's a switch right... There we go. There we go. I think actually I saw that. This might be the new update where it said all the... Bigfoot, huh? Okay. Yeah, that all the sheds on the map now have lights in them. So even the ones on other people's farms should have lights on them if you want to use those sheds as well. But here we have it, the new placement of everything on the farm. So yeah, things are going to look a little bit different. But I'm liking the placement down to where the silo is. And by the way, this will hold 900,000 liters of whatever we decide to put in there. So I should never have a problem. And really the grain, the only way I'm going to store grain if the price is crap when we go to harvest it, we'll just hold on to it to when the price is good. I don't know what I'm actually going to store in there. Corn. Corn might be the only thing I store in there because, like I said, we may look into the fish factory, producing some fish with some corn. I might put down the meat processing plant because instead of selling the cattle, I might bring them to the meat processing plant and just process meat, and because we'll get a little bit more money that way. But the first year is going to be a little bit of a struggle, as I said many times, because we don't have the cash, and I got to buy a lot of stuff. You saw the equipment that we have; it's right there. The Buck Solar 1, I'm only using that for forestry work, which I don't know if I'm going to get to at all. We shall see. The fertilizer definitely needed that because contracts, that's where the money's going to come in. The cultivator, you're going to need that because the subsoiler, no, because that counts as a plow and cultivator for us. So when we do corn for silage, we have to plow the field. So hopefully, like I said, in about, the end of fall, maybe 20 cattle. I think it all depends on how much feed we get. I'm hoping we get like 300,000 liters of grass off here to make some silage. And then we'll have 300,000 liters of hay in the fall time. But there we go. Our field's looking pretty good. Like I said, as for the weeds, the only way I would do the weeds right now, I don't even know how much that thing even cost. I'd use the modded one. It's $45,000 for that weeder. I don't think it's too crucial because it's only going to make us lose a little bit of crop. And I don't think it's going to save me $45,000 in crop by buying that. I mean, I guess I could lease it, which would cost me, well, $2,300. But if I leased it, if it was used, it'd be $1,500. I don't. And the problem is I could weed it now, and weeds are going to keep growing all year long. And that weeder is only going to take out the weeds that are in stage 1, not stage 2. So there we have it. Yeah, the shed's kind of gone from here, that work area. I mean, it wasn't a bad look to it, but I like the way it's looking better now. Because I want all my sheds down there by the silo and all our work stuff. As for here, I don't know what I'm going to do here yet. My brain hasn't processed that as of yet. But in between episodes, I'm probably going to go ahead and get some fertilizing contracts done. And as they come up, I'll get more done. I'll try not to complete them. I don't know how many contracts I can leave active and completed before new ones show up. And someone did say there's another mod out there I could do where not resets contracts, but refreshes. That's the word I'm looking for. It'll refresh contracts. I don't know if I'm going to go that route just yet because there should be a limit of contracts you can do in a day. So by refreshing, yeah, I see your point, and I get I know about that mod. I just never used it, so I don't know if I want to venture into that as of yet. But I do got some good money coming in for fertilizing. We're talking 11, 18, well, just shy of 20,000 there. So as long as I keep getting fertilizing contracts, and I haven't got the big fields yet. These are all small fields that we're getting done. So keep bringing in the cash. I mean, the one thing I would love to buy, obviously, is the Big M. But that Big M is going to cost... it's not as expensive as I thought it was. Yeah, this is a modded one, so I can change the color scheme. I just use this on that paint scheme right there on with the farms. I kind of liked it. I just happened to misclick, and I got the green and black. I'm like, you know what? That's not that bad. But that's going to cost like 320 with, well, I don't know if I need the bigger engine on it. There is an engine on here that's real big, like 517 horse, 449. It's not that, I mean, is it worth... We're going to say like 70 more horsepower for $10,000? I don't know. We'll have to see. But, you know, money's tight. I guess I can just buy it and upgrade it later on, right? But the Big M would be the way to go because it'll just make the process a lot easier. Can I get up to 300 and some odd thousand by the end of spring? I doubt it. But I'm going to get some contracts done. Some more work done around here. Next episode, I don't know what we're going to be doing as of yet. Hopefully when summer comes, maybe we'll do some... We'll have to see what contracts are coming up because, like I said, there's nothing else to do on our farm here. It's going to be all contract work. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here on Griffin, Indiana. But until then, have a good one.